I'm going to attempt to share my screen with you again and play a listener line call. So this is Listener Needs Tools to Live By, which is presented by Veyer. VeyerWatches.com provides us the only tool that we need to get through our daily life. If we're stripped from all technology and electronics, we would still be able to navigate the day with our Veyer.
I would know what time to go to bed and what time to wake up.
And what time your heat is over,
Yep.
and what time to pick up the kid. So each Veyer comes with two wristbands, by the way. One that's standard and then one that you get to pick in addition to. I finally swapped mine out for the rubber
Yep.
strap. The rubber strap is the finest rubber I've ever worn in my life.
I will also say about that, which we have not spoken about on the show, is oftentimes it is a real pain to swap watch bands. You have to get that tool and you got to
Yep.
like pry out that little whatever, the pin in there, and it's a real pain. These ones come where they have a little thing on the back where you just slide it down and like
It's
I
a
mean,
quick release.
yeah, quick release. It's hard to describe, but it's makes changing your watch band no problem.
Yeah, it's durable. Like it won't fall off, but at the same time, super simple to change in 1 second. Your
Yep.
thumbnail, just slide it out. Yeah, so I'm a huge fan. Obviously, very durable. That's the other thing. These watches are so durable. I bang mine around, smack it into chairs, and I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna look down and see that thing's cracked.
Nope.
Looks brand new. No scratches, no nothing. So Veyer is spelled Vaer, VeyerWatches.com. Waterproof, of course, waterproof guaranteed, assembled in the USA, which is kind of incredible. And we'll save you 15% with promo code Splendor15. So go check that out. And given that they are the ultimate tool for us, we get listeners writing in, calling in, and asking us for advice. So here you go, Chaz. Oops. Let me turn my volume back up for the third time.
Jeremy, I'm calling for the Beach Grit, and this might be a segment for Tools to Live By, but I don't know. It's a tricky one. Just need some advice. So I'm in my 40s. I live in Santa Cruz and am a lifelong intermediate surfer, and recently got diagnosed with a DVT. That's a deep vein thrombosis, which is basically a blood clot in my leg, and it's due to a blood clotting disorder in my family, and will have to be on blood thinners for at least 3 months, if not longer. Now, doctors are advising that I don't surf or stay away from high impact sports, potentially, like, for example, mountain biking, maybe snowboarding or whatever. But surfing's a little tricky because they're not so concerned with external bleeds, but just potential for intracerebral hemorrhaging or some kind of internal bleeding due to the blood thinners, which could happen. So my quandary is I can probably surf if I wear a helmet for the next 3 months. And I would have to paddle out to my local spot and say hi to all my buddies and wear a helmet. And, you know, it's a tricky one because obvious reasons. So, guys, let me know. What should I do? Keep up the work.
Can you believe people are still asking us for medical advice?
I mean, I just couldn't wait to give advice on what you do with DVT. But unfortunately, that wasn't specifically asked. It was helmet.
You thought it was going there, though. You thought it was deep
couldn't
vein
wait.
thrombosis.
I couldn't wait to open up my encyclopedic medical knowledge and just share exactly what he should do. But we'll save that. The helmet. That is a tough one. I don't want to minimize this at all. You'd think, just go put a helmet on. Who cares? Who cares what people think about you? You're mid-40s. This ain't high school anymore, et cetera, et cetera. But man, style changes like that are so much harder at this age. Of like, that is a wholesale change.
It is, but we've discussed the helmet in past shows. It has been normalized in things that you never would have anticipated being normalized in. The best example being snowboarding, skiing.
By far in snowboarding, you don't see, rarely do you see anyone without helmet on mountain now. So put your helmet on, paddle out. The thing is, you're gonna have to, I'm gonna give advice here about how to go about this. Get your helmet. I recommend maybe one of those ones with like the gladiator, like who wears those? Sage Erickson, maybe?
I'm not
I,
sure, but yeah, that's a badass
I talked
helmet.
to that dude who made that helmet. He seemed like a fine guy. But so get that one, the gladiator one. Don't just put it on and go surfing straight away. Get used to it. Put that helmet on, mow the lawn. Put that helmet on, wash the dishes. Put that helmet on and hang out for a minute. Maybe even ride your bike with that helmet on. Get used to it. Look at yourself in the mirror a lot, because what's going to be awkward is you feeling awkward in that helmet. And so if you break through that awkwardness, like, it's people who own what they're wearing, right? You could have this person who wears a goofy tuxedo, right? Who's really owning it, not owning it because he's goofy, just like, boom, this is my style. I'm here, da da da. Nobody thinks, oh, look at that funny, ironic guy. The guy who's did it because he wanted to be, or any kind of self-awareness of anything you're wearing, will just reeks to the outside, right? And so you wear that helmet confidently. Nobody in the water will even perceive that you're in a helmet. You will be, because your confidence is what's going to carry. But if you're self-aware, if you're feeling awkward, looking up, touching it, pulling at it, all this kind of stuff, everybody's going to think, oh, look at this guy in his helmet.
Yeah, that's a classic truism here that comes up regularly. It's just own it.
Own it.
And I agree with you, and I cannot in good conscience not recommend the helmet any longer. You know what I mean? Like, think about when we were kids, nobody wore a helmet when they were riding a bicycle. Now, I couldn't imagine sending my kid out without a helmet once he starts riding the bicycle, just because the risk is as minimal as it is. The consequence of the minimal risk is life altering.
Well, and helmets are totally normalized for those kids. No kid puts on a helmet and thinks, oh, here's my nerdy helmet. Like, nobody thinks anything. That's just what you do. You wear a helmet when you ride a bike.
I think that we can, through our work here, expedite that normalization process for the surf world. So from here forward, I am recommending helmet wearing for deep vein thrombosis sufferers.
I second the motion.
Yeah, I mean, truly, like, one of the scariest things I ever saw was a couple of years ago on Instagram. Young upcoming, quote, professional surfer from the East Coast, I believe. Her name on Instagram anyways, I think, is Becca Speak or something.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
Yeah, she surfed the Waco, I believe, wave pool.
Yes.
And so again, quote, professional surfer, sponsored stickers, all that sort of stuff, and hit her head on the bottom of the pool, and then was knocked unconscious and lost speech. So it was her a month later on Instagram talking about the journey through recovery. And it was her with very stilted speech trying to formulate her or get her thought out of her mouth to explain what she was experiencing. And just seeing her struggling to speak was like a real eye opener of like, wow, this girl who's a super competent surfer, presumably surfing in a wave pool, which should just be fun, easy, no problem, fell in probably in normal fashion, hit her head on the bottom, and just like that, everything shifts.
Yep.
And so I was like, man. And so riding a bike is even more perilous. I mean, there's only one thing that you can hit when you're on a bike, and it's hard, as opposed to I could wipe out 100 times and not hit anything hard in the water. But yeah, scary times. So wear a helmet. Is all I have to say. Yeah.
Helmet's cool.
Helmet's cool. Wear a helmet, and 100% of the time wear a watch. Veyer is the brand that you should wear. And send your medical advice in, and we will guide you into health and wellness here on the grid.